Hey everyone, so today's video is going to be a bit different, because I'm not, formally making the video, but I decided I just wanted to talk about it. If you read the title, then you'd know that, this video was about, how, my spirituality helped me with my depression. I've had depression since 7th grade, and I got diagnosed with it in 9th grade. I'm sorry if my voice is shaky. I haven't really spoken today, and this is kind of like an emotional subject for me. I've been through a lot in my life, and a lot of things I don't really want to disclose on, the internet, and it's kind of hard for me, but I will say that some things that's just kind of put me into like this mental illness was the fact that I felt isolated from my friend group during the time when I actually had my depression, on top of like the need to fit in, and as well as the death of my uncle, along with a bigger issue that I won't talk about because it's too personal. Maybe I'll talk about it one day, but today is not that day. But along with the bigger issue, those really put me into a really long sadness, and I'm talking like super long. And it was in 7th grade when I was figuring out, and I kept asking for help. I would ask for help, wouldn't get it, ask for help, wouldn't get it, and so I decided to take matters into my own hands. It was in 8th grade when I became like a part of Anonymous, and that was like you know what it is, but it wasn't really like Anonymous, it was just like anonymous fan pages, and we would like post information and spiritual stuff and things about third eye. It was always third eye, never sacral chakra, root chakra, or any other type of chakra, always a third eye. But we can get into that another time. But yeah, we would post things like that, and I got into it because I needed a sense of community. I was feeling very, very isolated, so that's what I did in 8th grade, and through that I found spirituality. Don't go looking for my anonymous page. It's over, it's done with it. I already deleted it because it was very toxic. If you are in the community, I'm glad that you found something that's worthwhile, but it's just not for me anymore. It has been very toxic, and I just didn't want to be a part of it anymore. I'm not ashamed of it, that's why I'm talking about it. It's a pivotal part of my life, and I thank God for it every day. But yeah, besides the point, that's what got me into spirituality, and so through that I was able to help myself. I started reading about the law of attraction. I started reading like books like The Alchemist and The Prophet and all these things, and it made me realize that I could take my happiness into my own hands. And I'm not saying like this video is not like spirituality will cure your depression, because in no way am I cured. I'm just now like, I'm just getting better at managing it. And it's like to the point where it doesn't take a hold over my life anymore. I got diagnosed with depression when I was in the 9th grade. So 8th grade started spirituality, 9th grade I diagnosed with depression. And even when I did get diagnosed, I had no help after that whatsoever. It was kind of like, okay, what do you have? Okay, you're diagnosed. Okay, well, that's it. So 9th grade, I kind of started, I didn't really find my friend group, but I did find like maybe like 2 people who really like helped me out with this and I could actually like talk to about it. These two people really helped me like come out about my spirituality, not like come out like, oh hey, I'm a spiritualist. No, it was more of like, you know, being more open and like actually have conversations with people with like minds. And even though I had these two people, I was still feeling very isolated. Like I did not fit in anywhere. When I felt very out of place up until I think maybe 10th or 11th grade, around that time, I was feeling very out of place and very just like, I'm kind of alone, but I know I'm not, you know, that whole dynamic. And so like during this time I was practicing meditation and, you know, just really reading up on spirituality. But yeah, I was like third eye, power of the mind, etc., etc. But I never really applied it to my life. And up until I was learning about the law of attraction and manifestation, and I decided that I wanted to find my tribe and I wanted to actually feel loved. So every day, I still do this. I literally still do this, except I added a couple things to this. But every day at 11:11, if I, you know, saw it, I would say, I wish for love, self-love, and love itself. And then I would write to the universe, like, I want to find my tribe. I want to find people who support me. I want a family of my own, etc. And it was just me just yearning for friends, pretty much. And, you know, I still kind of don't have friends, but, you know, I am in a better group. I have better people around me than I ever did before, and I'm very, very grateful for it. So through this manifestation, I found my my other best friends, because I only had like maybe like one before all this, and she went to another school at that time, but then she transferred over to my high school. Yeah, so I manifested my friends and I manifested like a support group. And this is very, very important to how like it started helping me in my depression, because I actually had support. I actually had people who would listen to me and listen to my problems, people I could tell my deepest, darkest secrets to, and they would never judge me, and they would actually try to help me or just listen whenever I'm venting, you know. And it was great. It's fantastic. I am so grateful that I had that in my life. I'm so grateful that I had that in my life, and the people who are still in my life who was a part of that group, because they really saved my life at that point. Anyways, that's how I manifested my boyfriend, a couple of other of my best friends, etc. So I really had that support group, and you know, it just gave me the inspiration and the willpower to keep going in my life. Once I had that support in my life, I started to heal. That healing process was something else, I can tell you that right now. I was crying pretty much every day. It was my second rock bottom. It was a dark period in my time, and like it was a dark period in my life, but it wasn't like sadness. If that makes, like, I was filled with sadness, don't get me wrong. I was devastated. Like, it was full of grief and guilt and etc. Like, I was just a mess. But when I look back on it, it wasn't darkness. It was kind of like not me going into, like, not me shoveling myself into a tunnel, but shoveling myself out of a tunnel. Like, there's still darkness, but like I'm going towards the light. That's something that is very important to note, because I would not be here without that dark period in time. I would not be where I am in a dark period of time without that dark period of time. So 12th grade, I stopped kind of meditating, but I, you know, was reading up on books and stuff like that. And then I started back meditating and doing my ritual work, which was just journaling my day or writing letters to God and talking to my ancestors and just really like having like a hermit moment. If you know tarot, then you know what I mean by hermit moment. If you don't, then it's just basically like introspection, going like being like a recluse and having that time for yourself to just figure out like where you're going and what you need to do, and just, you know, having that time, that sanctuary, that rest period. And so I started doing my journaling. I started again manifesting my life and my happiness. It was really good. I was kind of happy in that life in that point of time because, you know, it was just like, oh, I'm gonna get this, I'm just getting this. It was like I was gaining my faith back. I was gaining my hope back for my life. Yeah, I got into chakras. I got deeper into like witchcraft, and I started doing like self-care rituals and spells and all that. But most importantly, I just started like taking actual like care of myself and putting my spirituality like within everything that I did. Like, I would wake up and be like, oh, thank you for my life, thank you for this day, whatever. I pray over my food to whoever in my spiritual council needed attention or I felt like I needed to work with that day. I would light candles for myself whenever I was getting into that depression. I would light candles for myself and just sit and just, you know, put on like a Disney princess movie and just I would basically self-soothe myself. That knowing that I could never ever be alone, and that no matter what, I have people, I have spirits, guides, beings that are surrounding me and are loving me and just supporting me and guiding me. That in itself just did so much for me. It did so much for me. And it kept me going. And it kept me just, you know, fighting back. Recently, I've learned transmutation, how to actually properly do it. Because, you know, I've heard about it, like, throughout my whole spiritual journey. But I just now learned how to transmute, like, negative energy into positive energy, or negative feelings into positive feelings. And that was, like, a great thing to learn. Instead of me just, like, wallowing in sorrow, I would, like, water my plants and tell them how much I love them. Or I would, or recently, with, like, a recent painting that I did, I transmuted the death of another uncle who was, like, a family friend, but he was family. I transmuted that and put it into something absolutely beautiful. And I created beauty out of my pain. And it's just like, I'm magical as fuck. I am a badass bitch. And I'm just now realizing the power that I have and how I can take control over something that it has no hold over me anymore. And I'm so grateful and thankful for everything. I'm so grateful that I have spirituality in my life. I'm so grateful that I have the craft in my life. I'm so grateful for the friends that I manifested. I'm so grateful for the life that I've manifested. Something that's good for me. Something that's got me going. Something that has, like, that put a drive in my heart. Because Lord knows, if I would have continued the way that I was going, I would not be here today. I'm so thankful that I had the the urge to learn about this shit and just keep going. If I would have known I was making this video, I would not have put on makeup. I'm just throwing that out there. It's helped me so much by just giving me hope and giving me the tools to combat the symptoms. And so now when I get these depressive episodes and I'm laying in bed and I'm thinking, no one loves me, no one's there for me, no one, I'm alone, I can't do anything right, that's a big one, I'm weird, I'll never fit in, etc., etc., all those little things that got me into my depression to begin with. I know that I can be like, hey, you're better than this. You love yourself, and that's all that matters. But not only that, but you got people who love you. You got spiritual beings on the other side who love you. You got shit that you can do shit that most people cannot. And that makes you powerful as fuck, and you should be proud of yourself, and you should love who you are, because there is no one like you. Find sanctuary in knowing who I am and knowing what I can do, and spirituality has helped me find those things, and I thank God for it every day. I am so much happier. I am so much happier. Used to cry every night, like, and now I just cry because I get emotional because my heart chakra is too activated. Yeah, I just thought I'd come on and share that, even though, you know, I have no reason to, but I decided, sure, why not? And I haven't posted in like a month and a half, so it's a perfect video, short last video to, you know, just throwing up on the channel. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope I can help you guys in some sort of way. I've been getting like tips on my Instagram page, so you can follow me there. I've also been doing card pulls or like tip-based card pulls on my Twitter, so you can follow me on there as well. Make sure you subscribe if you like my story or not. If you think it's too sobby and too sappy, sorry. Hope you find peace. Thank you so much for being here. When I say that, I really do mean it. Like, thank you for being here. Thank you for continuing, and thank you for, you know, staying on your journey and having the courage to continue. So yeah, thank you so much for being here. Alright, bye.